Well, I'm on the farm today. It's a beautiful day. Sun's about to go down, and not much of a breeze. It's been cool. It's been down like around 50, 51 degrees up here, and in the mornings. We've been getting some rain, but in spite of it, the creek is still pretty low. I mentioned in my hay update video for September that I'd ruled out cutting any hay, any second cutting hay. It just didn't look like it was going to materialize. And I actually cut some gleaner hay down through here and around the perimeter of the fields. But I wasn't satisfied with just the overall quality of it. And so I decided just to not try to rake it up and bale it, and in favor of just taking a bush hog to it later on. But last week they were calling for clear skies all the way through, the weather guessers. And lo and behold, it rained in the middle of the week, and looked like rain up here today, but it did not rain. But the temperatures have been cool. I'm not sure I could get the hay dry. We've had dew that's been so heavy, it's like it's almost like rain. And because the temperatures in the morning are so cold, you know, it's up around noon before the dew starts burning off, and then very little wind to go with it. So cool temperatures, and for the most part, with the exception of some midweek rain, clear and sunny days. And I'll tell you what, the grass in this field, especially this one, and some of my other fields, has really taken off. And you know, I talked about in my hay update video the grass overseeding itself. Right here's an example of a bare spot, and it's got grass coming up. I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't look like a weed to me. And I'm seeing that everywhere in this field. And but what I'm also seeing is, you know, this hay has got some height to it. I mean, right there's my, you know, there's my foot, and you can see this stuff. You know, that's probably a foot tall, just the tip of that grass. Just the tip of that grass. So, you know, probably a good 7, 8, 10 inches right there. And you know, I kind of feel like it's only fair, if the weather guessers can change their mind, I can change my mind too. Thought I'd get up here on the road and a little lane going out to the barn and look at it. This field is, it has really cleaned up nicely over the past few years. Sometimes I look at this field and I think this is going to be the worst field ever, and it surprises me just about every year the way it comes in or it comes back. I think the worst, but there's like 0 foxtail in this field. And there might be a little horse nettle here and there, and there might be a milkweed here and there. That's pretty much it. Right in here is more grass has come up from where the grasses have gone to seed along this road. So I'm very pleased with that. And you know, I didn't have to buy a bag of seed to do that. So like I said, the weather guessers were calling for clear skies all week, and I thought about cutting this a week ago, this past Sunday, and it wasn't as tall as it is now. Just in a week's time, it's really taken off. But I thought about cutting it, even though I said I wasn't going to do a second cut. I just didn't feel like it was tall enough. But you know, if I'd have cut it on Sunday, you know, Tuesday or Wednesday this week, it was just a soaking rain, off and on all day, and what would have been some premium second cut turned into would have turned into you know, more cow and goat hay. So what I'm thinking about doing, and again, I reserve the right to change my mind. I'm the one inflicting pain on myself by being a humble haymaker. But I might let this grass go, and I might let it get a couple of good hard frosts. And my understanding is if you cut your hay before before you start getting a killing frost, what'll happen is it'll send everything out of the roots and try to regrow. And you know, over here where I've cut this what was going to be gleaner hay, that's exactly what's going on. I cut that, and but I didn't take it. And I'll tell you, the sickle mower that I used cut it down to the ground, and you can see where the grass was cut, the tips of it, and it was cut like that tall. And I've got some video I'm going to put up of mounting the sickle mower on the Model 50 Massey and show it. But in any event, my understanding is when that grass explodes back after you cut it, it's taking everything out of the roots and sending it to the leaf. And then what happens is you'll get a hard frost, and it'll kill the grass. Because it nips that leaf real hard, and essentially, I don't know if the right word is kill it, but basically you've depleted the reserves for the winter because it's all in the leaf. And so what I want to do is I want to let it frost a couple of good times, and by that time the plant has not only sucked everything it can down in the root, again is my understanding, it's also wised up to the cold weather and the shorter daylight days, and it's not going to, regardless of what happens, it's not going to try to regrow. And so at that point I feel pretty safe, like I haven't damaged, you know, my crop. And so I may be looking at an October hay cutting, but again, I'm very skeptical about cutting any more hay this year. But I'll tell you, this stuff looks really good, and I kind of hate to leave it out here. We're in the business to make money on this farm, and what we got here is a potential hay crop. And so we'll see how it goes, and let it get a little more growth. Maybe get into October. Sometimes we get in October, even early November, you know, the humidity will be really low, the wind will be blowing like crazy, and the temperatures will be up near 70 or even above. And You know, we'll get a week or two of that sometimes. Sometimes it turns really dry, like almost like a drought. You know, the hunters are out there trying to hunt and camp, you know, and they'll come in and say no fires because it'll be so dry. If we get those conditions in October and a goodly amount more growth right here, I'm going to have a hard time not coming in here, at least on this field. And this is the cleanest field I got. This is the one I'd probably take. I doubt if I'd take the hay on the other fields. They need some more work, I think. But I'd probably come in here and hit this real quick and knock it out, get it baled up, and maybe make a little money on second cutting. I'd be curious of your thoughts. That's kind of the video on changing my mind, maybe. And I'd be curious to hear what you have to say, some of you haymakers, about the grass and the square bale potential on this field. Might have something to work with. We'll talk to you later.